I chose this topic, water crisis and the coming water wars, because it is near and dear to my heart. I am a bioenvironmental science student and we do study the effects of man on the environment quite frequently. One of the concerns of our department is how the world will handle the coming water stress if we continue to live the way that we do. The world's population is currently at over 7.3 billion people. The population is increasing at a factor of 3.8, and water usage of the world is increasing by a factor of 9. For example, for the average American diet, 1,000 gallons of water is required per person per day. Referring to the fact that our population is rapidly expanding, the amount of water required is going to increase as well. Comparatively, currently there is about 40% of the world's population suffering from water stress. By the year 2050, that number will be changed to more than half of the world's population. And in addition, over half of the grain production of the world will be under water stress as well. The reason this is so bad for the world is that grain is the staple diet of 35% of the world's population. With stress on grain production, prices will increase. Third world impoverished nations will not be able to afford the new prices. This is just an example for grain. Rice requires even more water input to grow and is even more important to the poor's diet. In short, the have-nots of the world will starve to death. If history shows us anything, it proves that when a commodity is in short supply, for example, land, gold, slaves, etc., then war will follow. The strongest will maintain control over the limited water supply, and the weak will be left to find what they can to survive. About 3/4 of the earth is water. However, 97% of that water is ocean water, which is unavailable for organism use. The 3% of remaining water that is fresh water, of that 70% is still glaciers, which is unavailable for use. 29% is underground waters, such as aquifers, and 1% are above ground rivers and lakes. By aquifer, I am referring to something very similar to underground lakes. The largest aquifer in the United States is the Ogallala Aquifer. This one, if fully spread out, would cover all 50 states in about 1.5 feet of water. However, we are draining it at a rapid rate. We are using 90% of the water from this aquifer to irrigate crops and using it in a rate where it cannot be sustained. Unfortunately, once depleted, this aquifer will take about 6,000 years to refill. How do we stop this impending crisis? The short answer is that we can't. However, we can try and slow down water usage. This requires an intense amount of education to the public. The developed world's population tends to look the other way regarding environmental issues that have yet to affect them at home. However, we simply have to look to the third world countries of the world to see what we have in our future. Scientists are developing drought-resistant crops, farmers are breeding more resilient livestock, and desalination experiments are underway. There is hope, but more people must get on board for it to be a viable hope.